I'm Dr. Sandeep Kumar, MCH resident, first year, Department of Surgical Oncology, IMS BHU. I'm now uh, going to present advances in surgical navigation and tumor tracking in cancer surgery. Advancements in modern surgery is credited to the evolution of the technology. As the operation theaters are becoming the digital operating room, the surgeons rely on surgeons apply 3D imaging and advanced de novo model construction to integrate with navigational softwares that are used to determine the operative approach for the planning and for the real-time surgical decision making. Navigation techniques augment the surgeon's understanding of three things. First, the target organ location. Second, the approach to the target anatomy. And third, the location of critical anatomic structures related to the target organ. Surgery has the potential of being safer with better outcome when the navigational aids resolve these 3 points. In the last 2 decades, image-guided surgery evolved rapidly, which enables the real-time visualization of the surgical instrumentation with respect to intraoperative anatomy based on preoperative imaging. The prerequisite of a current surgical navigation system is fixed. It should have a fixed target area, since the registration of preoperative images with the intraoperative anatomy is based on this rigid fixed position. It is initially developed in the neurosurgery. Soft tissue component has fixed position with respect to bone. So the goal was to improve precise targeting of the tumor margins and improve the safety of the surgical procedures. Image-guided neurosurgery evolved from frame-based stereotaxis to frameless navigation. Nowadays, multiple studies have showed that image-guided neurosurgery is feasible and improves the extent of resection of the malignant bone tumors such as gliomas. These techniques are also used in orthopedic and head neck surgery, where it is found to be of added value with improved accurate placement of the surgical implants. Intraoperative guidance help many oncological procedures not confined to a rigid surrounding. In these procedures, surgeons rely on palpation and visual inspection to distinguish tumorous from the healthy tissue. This can be challenging and may result in incomplete removal of the tumor tissue associated with local recurrence and poor overall survival. To make navigation useful under such circumstances and improve surgical outcomes, the technique has to account for the changing position of the tumor by real-time tumor tracking during surgery. These technologies are mainly used in three fields: rectal cancer surgery, breast conservation surgery, and lung cancer. For the rectal cancer surgery, total mesorectal excision is the gold standard. TME can be challenging with limited visualization and surgical access due to anatomical location of the tumor. Technical challenges due to unfamiliar view and interpretation of the anatomy from the bottom can cause serious complications or oncological failure. Because of this, the amount of tumor positive resection margin still remains 10 to 15%. Considering the complexity of the pelvic anatomy and the technical difficulty of total mesorectal excision, 3D image guidance can improve the accuracy and safety and to secure radical resection margins. Uh, a study, image-guided real-time navigation for transannal total mesorectal excision, done by Atalla et al., uh, published in 2015. They performed transannal TME with image-guided real-time navigation during the transannal portion of the operation. They uses a frameless stereotactic navigation system. Stereotaxis require 3D localization technology, which utilizes a stereoscopic camera emitting the infrared light, a computer platform containing the navigation software, and two navigational trackers. One is attached to the patient and other to the instrument. Then MRI or CT scan is used to map to allow for guided real-time navigation. The results were the mean operative time was 402 minutes. No intraoperative complications recorded. Navigational accuracy is 3.69 mm. The average navigation setup time is 47 minutes. The surgical specimens found to be completely intact with mesorectal envelopes. All margins, including the radial, distal margins, are negative. Stereotactic navigation for transannal TME is shown to be feasible and accurate. It may aid to perform a safe, high-quality rectal cancer operation for selected patients. Another study, stereotactic pelvic navigation with augmented reality for transanal total major rectal excision, done by Kwok et al. Published in 2019. They uses a optical navigation system with cranial software. In this, a preoperative CT is obtained with 10 skin fiducials and further processed to emphasize the border of anatomical structure by 3D modeling and pelvic organ segmentation. Preoperative CT images are loaded into the navigation system and patient trackers is mounted onto the iliac bone. Then laparoscopic instrument mounted with the instrument tracker is calibrated for the instrument tracking. After validating these, the stereotactic navigation for transanal total major rectal excision is performed. The results were the accuracy of the target positioning is less than 3 millimeters. Qualitative assessment using Likert scale is well matched between the two observers. After the 20 scores, 19 were judged as very good and or excellent. The conclusions were application of the image-guided navigation system to the transanal total major rectal excision for low rectal tumor is feasible. The acceptable accuracy of target positioning justifies its clinical use. The most recent paper for surgical navigation with real-time tumor tracking in cancer surgery in the rectal tumor, done by Koch et al., which is published in Precision Oncology in 2020. They uses electromagnetic tracker system. This is done in two phases: feasibility phase and test phase. In the feasibility phase, they studied about the feasibility and safety of the study workflow, the possibility of the real-time tumor tracking with the navigation system, and about the possible improvement in the clinical workflow. While the test phase, the ultimate accuracy of the real-time tracking is investigated. This is the surgical. This is the OR room. OR room. This is the pre-op CT scan, and this is the 3D reconstruction with the bones, the arteries, veins, and the ureters. These have three orthogonal views, that is axial, sagittal, coronal, and the tracked tumor and pointer position during the surgery. This is the rectal tumor, and this is the tumor sensor, which is glued to the tumor and which is fixed to the perianal region. Now, this is the pre-op CT scan. This is the 3D reconstruction, and this green area, this is the tumor. This green area is exactly over the tumor. When we move the tumor to the right, like this, the tumor in the camera, in the screen, also moves to the right. While when we move the tumor to the left, the tumor in the camera in the screen also moves to the left. The navigation system. This an electromagnetic tracking system. It links the preoperative imaging data to the intraoperative patient setup. Patients are positioned on an operating table, including a tabletop field generator with an oval electromagnetic field. Patient trackers with electromagnetic sensors are used to determine the position of the patient during surgery, and a tracker sensor was placed against the tumor to adjust for real-time tumor movement. In the feasibility phase, a preoperative CT scan is done one day before surgery, and MRI scans are done to create a patient-specific 3D model using semi-automated in-house developed segmentation software. In the operating room, 3 patient trackers were taped to the skin of the patient, one at the level of anterior superior iliac spine and rest 2 at the left and right side of the lumbar spine curvature. The navigation information consisted of the rigid anatomy of the pelvis plus a non-rigid representation of the tumor. While in the test phase, using the flexible sigmoidoscopy and endoscopic ultrasound, 3 fiducial markers are inserted through the bowel wall into the mesorectal tract. One on the proximal and distal tumor border, and one midway through the tumor. The fiducial markers used were gold anchor and Visicoil. During the surgery, the surgeon uses the navigation interface to place 2 titanium surgical clips on the surface of the rectum proximal to the border. The distance between the surgical clips and proximal tumor border is macroscopically reported and verified with histopathology. The difference between the distance of the clip relative to the proximal tumor border measured by the navigation system and the pathology measurements is used as the accuracy value. In the feasibility phase, 15 patients were included and 11 patients successfully completed the entire investigational workflow and received rectal surgery, that is open or lap APR or LAR. No navigation related complications are observed. Added extra time is on an average 31 minutes. In the test phase of 16 patients, 14 patients received rectal surgery with the navigation system. Added extra time is only 21 minutes. The median absolute distance between the surgical clips and the proximal tumor border at histopathology is 3 mm. No navigation related complications are observed. Through this, they propose the prospective study shows the real-time electromagnetic tumor tracking with surgical navigation is feasible, safe, and very accurate. High median accuracy of 3 mm is obtained. No navigation-related complications are observed during the surgery, and total extra time is also decreased up to by the end of surgery to 21 minutes. There are various limiting factors like tracking the tumor movement in all directions. They use a 6-degree freedom sensor. The interpretation of the preoperative images are more challenging as the MRI is less reliable to the neoadjuvant chemoradiotherapy. Fiducial placements and registration are sometimes troublesome in the smaller, limited volume tumors. Uncertainty remains about the position of fiducials if they are rigid or not with respect to the tumor. Also, pathological processing is sometimes complex. Now, in breast conservation surgery, the balance between the complete tumor excision and cosmetic outcome is a challenge. Attempts to save healthy breast tissue can increase the chances of leaving the tumor behind. Almost a third of patients have tumor found at the margins of the pathological analysis of the specimen. And it is a well-known fact that positive margin increases the risk of local recurrence, making additional surgery necessary. The challenges in removing all of the tumor is multifactorial, as like non-palpable tumors, lesion techniques targeting the lesions. Targeting do not offer a 3D image of the tumor within the breast. Nature of the breast tissue which deforms easily when manipulated. Non-palpable tumors are usually marked by needle localization, radioactive and magnetic field localization, or intraoperative ultrasound. By using these three methods, the positive margin rate are 3.7%, 7.3% for needle localization, and 25% for radioactive and magnetic field localization. With the current strategies, positive margin rates after initial breast conservation surgery is 30 to 40%. Now, Gabriel Gouin et al. They described another good electromagnetic navigation for breast conservation surgery using the Navi knife technology, which is a combination of preoperative needle localization and ultrasound-based tumor contouring with real-time electromagnetic surgical navigation. This method successfully improved the outcome of needle localization in simulated procedures. They investigated the safety, feasibility, and surgeon's experience using the real-time electromagnetic surgical navigation. They also investigated about the specimen volume, weight of the specimen, positive margin rate, and the reoperation outcome. They included a single tumor, ultrasound, which is ultrasound visible but non-palpable and biopsy proven. In this, the navigation system consists of an ultrasound machine, an electromagnetic position tracker, and a navigation computer tablet, and a navigation display. This is the localization needle, this is the tumor, and this is the cautery. This is the ultrasound machine. Through this, all informations can be seen in the computer. An electromagnetic sensor is attached to the localization needle, and tumor contouring is performed in a sterile fashion using the tracked ultrasound and a touchscreen tablet. The resulting images are displayed on the mounted display. Through the real-time navigation, surgeon is provided with the constant visual feedback. The green tumor model turns red when the cautery tip breaches the tumor contour, indicating the need to perform a wider resection. In this figure A, we can see a contour points, red dots are create 3D tumor contour. In figure B, the distance distance between the cautery tip and the tumor margin is shown. The result, there were no equipment failures or breach of sterility during the surgery. The surgeon finds additional instruments are not cumbersome and do not interfere with the surgical procedure. They are easy to set up and use the navigation system. EM navigation system is useful in guiding excision of the non-palpable tumors. The median operative time is 66 minutes for the NaviKnife group, while 65 minutes for the control group, which is absolutely similar. The outcome. The positive margin rate is 22% for NaviKnife, while 28% for the match control. Re-excision rate during the operation is 77% for the NaviKnife, but 34% for the match control, while the re-excision residual disease is only 14% for NaviKnife and 50% for the control. The specimen volume is also reduced. The operating time is almost equivalent. Now, the previous studies comparing the needle localization, intraoperative ultrasound, radio-guided occult lesion localization have shown lower positive rate with the intraoperative ultrasound. Intraoperative ultrasound alone is limited to 2D cross-sectional images, and the image is only available when the transducer is on the patient. This requires the surgeon to pause the excision to relocalize the lesion. This technique allows the surgeon to see the tumor localization in the real time through the excision as the ultrasound-based 3D image is displayed on the screen. The advantage is it is easy to use, the less chance of equipment failure, setup and implementation is quite easy, overcomes the challenges of the breast deformation and movement by tracking the localization needle directly inside the tumor. It significantly reduced the excised specimen volume and weight. It also resulted in the reduction of the positive margin rate, although this was not statistically significant in this study. The limitation of this study is that the samples were quite small, and the qualitative surgeon assessment of the navigation system, because they are not blinded. Now, another is the lung cancer. Surgical navigation has not been employed in the thoracic surgery field because the positional information can be unstable and may not be detected by the system in the thoracic cavity. The lungs and the most neighboring structures are not fixed and are easily displaced during the surgery by the beating heart or the collapse of the lung due to differential lung ventilation during the surgery. The surgical navigation system can be applied for the patient with lung cancer complicated by the chest wall invasion because the tumors are now fixed to the chest walls. Sota Nakumara et al. They did a study, clinical application of surgical navigation system based on the virtual thoracoscopy for the lung cancer patients, which have the chest wall infiltration. They developed surgical navigation system which presents the virtual thoracoscopic images using the HRCT image data as if we were observing the interthoracic cavity in synchronization with the real thoracoscopic view. This enables the visualization of the tips of the forceps on the virtual image. This is the real thoracoscopic view. This is the virtual thoracoscopic view, which is guided from the CT scan and the 3D positional tracker. This is the tumor and this is the marking. It consists of 3D positional tracker and a virtual thoracoscopy system. The 3D positional tracker is used to recognize the positional information of the thoracic resection line for obtaining a safe surgical margin to be visualized as a virtual thoracoscopic view in synchronization with the real thoracoscopic view. Induction therapy followed by surgical treatment is performed and considered as a valid treatment option for the lung cancer patient complicated by chest wall invasion. There were two cases, both were adenocarcinoma of the lung, stage 2B, chemoradiotherapy regimen given, and the procedure were upper lobe resection with chest wall resection. The steps were, at first, the HRCT scans are obtained prior to any treatment. Then segmentation is performed, that is the area of lung cancer before induction therapy and optimal resection line for obtaining a safe surgical margin are extracted and drawn on a virtual thoracoscopic view. Next, the navigation system is started via two-port video-assisted thoracic surgery prior to the surgical treatment. The patient to image registration is performed for the synchronization between the real and virtual thoracoscopic view. Next, the landmarks for the optimal resection line on the chest wall are engraved using an electric scalpel. And lastly, the lobectomy combined with the chest wall resection via thoracotomy is performed using the landmarks. The positional information for positional information, they use Polaris Spectra optical tracking system. That is a 3D positional tracker. It enables the position of a thoracoscope or forceps to be detected using reflective passive markers that are attached to the respective instrument. For the patient to image registration, to generate virtual thoracoscopic views synchronized with the real thoracoscopic views, the navigation system requires thoracoscope camera position in the pre-op high resolution CT images coordinate system. 6 or more anatomical landmarks are selected as fiducials for registration and are located at some anatomical point of the chest. The navigation system performed patient to image registration using the positional information of these fiducials. The results were the after registration between the each anatomical landmark and the fiducial of the 3D CT image, the virtual thoracoscopic view is synchronized with the real thoracoscopic view. The virtual thoracoscopic view also simultaneously indicated the area of lung cancer before induction therapy and the optimal resection line for obtaining a safe surgical margin. The mean time for navigation system is 22 minutes. No complications related to the navigation system are encountered during or after procedures. This is the lung tumor before chemotherapy, and this is the after chemotherapy. This is the virtual thoracoscopic view with the tumor and the marking, and this is the actual thoracoscopic view. These are the markings which are to be resected. Now, this system visualizes the area of lung cancer before the induction therapy and the optimal resection line for obtaining a safe surgical margin in synchronization with the real thoracoscopic view. It also allows to obtain a CT-derived virtual intrathoracic 3D view of the patient that is aligned and synchronized with the real thoracoscopic view. It improves the surgeon's confidence by ensuring that a sufficient surgical margin is attained. The number of salvage surgery operations for the patients with advanced stage lung cancer may increase with the combined use of the new agents in the induction therapy. Induction therapy makes the intrathoracic tissue more vulnerable to injury, and original area or position of the tumor becomes difficult to grasp. Tumor disappearance may also cause surgeons to hesitate or become anxious when making decisions regarding the surgical resection line. These problems can be resolved by using this surgical navigation system. It is also useful for improving the surgeon's confidence in obtaining a sufficient surgical margin in treatment of lung cancer patients who have not received the induction therapy or for patients of mediastinal tumors.
Thank you, Sandeep. I understand that it's a difficult topic for you because you had absolutely no idea of what the topic is about. So, looking at that, an excellent job. The topic is open for discussion.
Sir, during the navigation, we can see only tumor or the surrounding structure like artery, vein, or ureter. We can see.
You can see the tumor, you can see the artery, vein, ureter, bones, and you can also see the movement of the tumor. So, like if you are doing an APR and you retract the rectum to the left, the tumor retracts to the left. And that relative movement also is visualized on the virtual plane. So not just the structures, but you are also able to see the movement of the tumor. Actually, the advantage of using the navigational system is that when we are moving the tumor or when we are using retractors to stretch the abdomen, or if you are doing a BCS, you put retractors, what happens is the anatomy get distorted. And if you take example of BCS, what normally happens? You never have an, what is the margin that is required, Ajay?
Sir, 1 centimeter at least.
It is negative ink margin.
BCS. Yes, sir.
It is negative ink margin.
Negative ink margin.
So negative ink margin, if you look at the actual margin that you get out in this specimen, would be anywhere between 1 centimeter to 3 or even 5 centimeters. So you are excising excessive tissue, which is not required to be excised. So the function of these navigational systems is that it let you do a precise excision. Like you just said, 1 centimeter margin. So if you have a 2 centimeter tumor, 2 by 2 centimeter, and if you have 1 centimeter margin on either side, your excision defect is 4 centimeters into 4 centimeters.
Yes, sir.
So now all you wanted was a negative ink margin, which could have been obtained by 1 millimeter margin around it. And instead of 2.1 into 2.2 into 2.2, you end up making a 4 by 4 centimeter defect. This is what this navigational system helps you, that you don't leave a positive margin behind. So all of us doesn't want to leave a positive margin behind. So what we do is we go wide. So where we can go wide, we go wide. But in narrow places like rectum, where you cannot go wide because of pelvic walls, you tend to leave a positive CRM. Especially anteriorly in males when it comes to closeness with the prostate or seminal vesicles.
Sir, in case of BCS, it is only applicable when the tumor is palpable. It means
no. It is applicable when tumor is non-palpable also. It doesn't matter. If tumor is non-palpable, if it is seen on an ultrasound or a mammography, you can do a wire localization. All you require is basically places of 2 electrodes, one inside the tumor and one on your instrument with which you are doing the cutting. So all it's going to do is tell you the relative position of the 2 instruments. Basically, if you look at it, these navigational systems has been divided based on marker-based or markerless. So most of the techniques which Sandeep has described are marker-based techniques. Initially, if you look at BCS, people used to use iodine implantation, iodine seeds to get the margins. People also used to use magnetic material and use a magnet to identify the margins. Ultrasounds had been used to identify margins. These techniques are slowly getting more and more refined.
Breast, a non-palpable mass, navigation would definitely make your surgery much better. How much ever you localize, you have a needle in the center, but still, what Manoj Bhai told is correct. You might intuitively go and remove much more than actually necessary. So non-palpable tumors, it's much more useful because your fingers actually do not help you even if it is open surgery. A rectum, I don't know. See, the surgery is anatomical. You remove a certain extent. For extra levator, you go extra levator. Otherwise, you remove. When the patient responds to chemotherapy and radiation well, and still you want to operate a small lesion, that is one place I think navigation should help much more. So less palpable, less visible. I think navigation helps you. The quantum of benefit of navigation is much more than a very clearly palpable tumor or a visible tumor.
Complete joint replacement, because even if there is a thin articular margin, the resection would not go till the periphery. So the after Akshay taking over as musculoskeletal onco, so he has got a navigation system where even if a thin rim of articular cartilage is there, he is able to resect the tumor, and now the joint sacrifices are less. So by this, what has happened is there is a total difference when you replace a joint and you don't you leave the joint with the original joint capsule. So there is a lot of difference. So navigation has helped in doing lot of limb conservation with the articular surface of the bone conservation. So that is what is we have the experience. Otherwise, I don't have any experience for breast or like that, because this is a new thing coming up.
Thing is that which is being used pretty commonly in the Western world is navigational bronchoscopy.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. All the tumors, which are very small, which cannot be targeted with CT or by any other means. So navigational bronchoscopy becomes a very good tool to target it very precisely. Those indeterminate nodules which you don't know, we want to prove before going for a definitive surgery. That is something which is really coming in in a very good way in the West.
Even segmentectomy, nobody is doing actually. Everybody does if there is a tumor and a good size, then we are doing a lobectomy. But if you really want to do a segmentectomy, it might be of help.
For the surgeon, I think if you want to do a segmentectomy, navigation is supposed to help. None of us have experience, but ICG also seems to be helpful. It may not replace navigation, but
definitely. But it is definitely ICG has become quite helpful in tumor guided guiding. I think Subbu sir gave a very good talk in SCCon, although the people were listening were less, on ICG and utilization in today's surgical world. Actually, it was fantastic. One of the fantastic presentation for ICG.
Thank you, Rudra. Thank you so much.
I
think it's very exciting to be a surgeon these days. And the younger you are, the better you are, because you will see much more of this. So I'm not too happy that we are becoming old, but at the same time, I think it's very exciting days. It will keep you young because you learn new things. It will actually keep you young. Good presentation, good, bold presentation, because most of the things that you told, I have never read. To be very,
sir, there was a presentation in FHNO from CMC Vellore Group. They presented intraoperative use of ultrasound to look for the deep margin in tongue while operating on tongue.
Yes.
So, could you share something on that?
Panchika, that's an old technique. Use of ultrasound for surgical margins is an old technique. This is the 2D ultrasounds which are being used. And it is not same as the navigation and the tumor tracking. It is intraoperative ultrasound. So that's a technique which was earlier used for even the breast conservations also. In the liver surgery, it has been used. It is pancreatic surgeries. It has been used. So this is not something new.
So is it useful in tongue, because we don't have experience?
Really operator dependent, and most surgeons are not very good sonologists. I think navigation, once you learn, is probably much more surgeon friendly. Manoj bhai?
Navigation is much better because now the new navigation systems which are coming up are actually based on the fusion imaging. Fusion imaging means that they take the CT scan, they take MRIs, functional MRIs, and even the PET images. They fuse it preoperatively to create a 3D model, plan the excision a day before, and then by virtual tracking, you just maintain your cutting margins. So even this is now coming up. There are hospitals which are utilizing this.
And a third image, everything becomes much better.
Yes.
Is it not?
And they call it a 4D imaging. See, the imaging technique has always been there. It is being utilized by radiotherapists much more than us. The whole of stereotactic surgery is nothing but the image guided surgery.
Yes.
So, though Sandeep has not presented, there is a very interesting article which has recently been published, and they have used Varion's Calypso. Calypso is a 4D imaging technique of Varion, which they have used for breast conservation. And they have found it very useful in navigating, excising the tumor. So this Varion...
Varion is a company which makes linear accelerator, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Same company.
Yeah.
So as a part of the LINAC, they give a 4D CT.
4D CT.
And that can be utilized because we utilize that for the liver volumetry even for SCC.
And the same machine can be utilized for actually breast conservation, live tracking, and tumor tracking.
Okay.
So recently a data has been published on Calypso.
You told sensors failed to work in 4 patients.
Yes, sir.
What had happened actually? It's an expensive loss, is it not? 4 patients, sensors failed to work. In one of the slides, what had happened there? It's not your data, I understand, but
it was written, sir. Just keep they weren't working.
Okay.
They were not working.
They were not working.
Okay.
They have actually not described that why it has not.
Maybe because of failure or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But these are electromagnetic ones.
Yeah.
Basically, the navigation system that you are going to encounter are either optical or the electromagnetic. These are the two main type of navigational system which are now being used increasingly.
3D printing is one more aspect that by doing 3D printing you can plan your surgeries mostly with mandible or any bone surgeries. So 3D printing also is coming in a big way.
Yes.
Rudra and Manoj bhai, if I have to send one of our youngsters for training, where do they go for this? Must be different for different organs systems.
Yeah, Birmingham's Women's Hospital has the best OR suits, navigational OR suits.
For breast?
For breast. For
breast.
all of them. They have got the best navigational OR suits.
Okay.
In Roswell Park, Buffalo, they were doing a lot of navigation bronchoscopy.
Yeah, but Tarun, a navigational system is being used for endoscopy from ages. All your stent placements are using a navigational system. Right. That is a 2D navigational system.
Correct.
But the same 2D navigational system cannot be used for surgery.
Utilized. Yeah.
Cannot be utilized for surgery.
Okay.
Dr. Samir wanted to add something.
No, I was just wanted to ask if anybody in India is using, apart from the orthopedics people.
Neurosurgery people are using.
Neurosurgeons are using it, yes.
Yeah.
Neurosurgery, orthopedics,
right.
And especially in a tumor like in Saket, we got a dedicated navigation system only for ortho-oncology. Yeah. So 3D printing and both are there actually. So anybody interested in limb salvage, you can have a training of both 3D and 3D printing and navigation.
3D printing for reconstruction of the mandible, I have heard that.
Yeah,
but
same thing is used for any place actually.
It's actually
any bony place. Yeah.
Samir, actually, the 3D printing is also used for computerized surgical planning.
Yeah, correct.
Actually, you can actually plan the whole surgical procedures on 3D printing.
Yes.
Dr. Pandey, may I say something? 3D printing, as I think it's also being done at Medanta for the mandibular reconstruction, because I have one of my residents there posted who told this to me. I'd seen it being done in Japan in the National Cancer Center for the same surgeries. They plan it on a 3D printing before the surgery, that is mostly for bony reconstruction of the mandible.
If there are no questions and comments, I thank everybody for the participation. It had been something different kind of a topic.
Oh, yes.
Something new for all of us.
Yes,
and something where none of us has much experience with it. Though this is something which is used by our other colleagues like gastroenterologists, the neurosurgeon, the orthopedicians, and even the radiotherapists use it quite frequently, but we never thought of coming out of our traditional feeling with the hand and going for navigational surgeries.